Welcome to another episode of Real Conversation. I'm one of your hosts, Nicole Jones,
And I'm Quana Savvy.
and we would like to thank you guys for joining us on this episode. Uh, we have a great show for you today, but before we get into the show, Shaquana, how is your day? How are you doing over there?
So far, so good. Having a great day. We are, of course, recording at a different time, so it's a little weird, but for the most part, day is going well, thank God. And I anticipate a even better night. So, what about you?
I'm with you. So I'm good as well. It's funny. All you guys know that I work outside, and apparently the dust mites and the sun attacked my skin. So, but I'm getting through it. And my evening is going to be way better than this morning. So,
Good, good. Well, I hope you're taking some allergy medicine or something because I know it's that time, it's that season. The changes are happening and, there are allergy flare ups with everything. So, everyone's having an issue.
yes. I am actually. I didn't take like Benadryl because it makes me drowsy. I was at work
Hmm.
when it happened, so I what's that? Was it Aqua 4?
Oh,
Did I see it
Aquaphor.
right?
I love that. Healing ointment.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Mm,
yes. Mm-hmm.
girl, it was my best friend. I went right to the store, got that sucker, put it
Mm-hmm.
on. I was like, man, because I was itching my arms. I had it on my chest, my face. I was like, mm-mm.
Insane. Yeah, insane. But you know what? Hopefully hopefully the Aquaphor works for you and it just you get better, just keep putting it on. I use Aquaphor daily.
Okay.
Yeah, I use it daily. I have like tubs and tubs of it because you know especially during the winter and the spring, like my skin is just crazy and it gets really really dry, so I tend to use that a lot to keep me moisturized.
That's good to know
Yeah,
because this is
yeah.
my first time using them.
Oh, really? No, no, no. And my
Yes.
daughter Kayla, she swears by Aquaphor. Like she's like, "Mom, use the healing ointment. Mom, use the healing ointment." So
Okay.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's
Sorry.
good. Mhm.
Yeah, so because my lips was tight. I'm like, is there something on my lips? My lips look nice and moist to everybody else, but to me, it's like,
It's giving. I need water. I need water, but it's not that, right? It's just that
no.
your allergic reaction is causing your lips to be dry. So listen,
Yes.
listen. I'm telling you, I keep it right here, a small tub, right
Mm.
at my desk. I keep it there, so that I
I
could stay moisturized.
gotta get
Yeah.
that one. I got
hmm
the spray because I was like,
Oh yeah, that's in my car. The spray's in my car. I don't play those games. I don't. Yeah, we got to stay hydrated. Yeah. We got
absolutely.
to stay hydrated. So, but
Okay,
what do
so,
we got on the what we have on the agenda today?
ooh, child. So let's get started with this here. I came across this crazy clip of this woman from Mississippi.
Uh huh.
Oh my goodness, girl. So apparently she was kicked out of her baby daddy's funeral because she went to kiss his private area as
Wait,
he laid in his casket. Can we go to that clip so
wait a
everybody
minute.
can see it?
Wait a minute. Hold on. All right, let's go to the clip. Let's go to the clip.
Yo, they
Let me
kicked me out
see.
the funeral because I kissed my baby daddy dick. What makes you think I'm not gonna kiss my baby daddy dick before he died? What makes you think I'm not gonna kiss my baby daddy? I mean, not before he died, but what makes you think I'm not gonna kiss my baby daddy dick before he go lay down in the grave or whatever gonna happen to him? What makes you think I ain't gonna kiss that dick so he can remember? Babe, everybody better be happy I ain't pull his pants down and start sucking on that and start choking on that. Fuck you talking about for real, for real. Fuck you talking about. I was ready to lick on that. Fuck you talking about. We finna get a busted right here in the church. Finna fuck you the shit with you. Like you say, ratchet bitch, I wanna fuck you right now.
Let me sip my tea.
Girl. that
What was that?
was
What was that?
crazy.
What was that? Okay.
What's your thoughts on that? Because When I seen it, I was just like, what was she thinking in the church? What? Of course she gonna get kicked out.
I don't even know who would even have a thought like that. First of all, he can't feel you.
That's number one.
He can't feel you. I mean, it's personal satisfaction. How? He's not even erect, right? So what?
I mean,
I
technically
get
he is.
well, yeah, it'll be hard, right? Because he's living ball. No, I just cannot even think about it. Ah, yo, that's disgusting. And I would have kicked her out too because, and for the most important part of this is he's disrespect. That was disrespectful to the
Very much
family.
so. Yes.
Disrespectful to the family, and it's your baby daddy, which tells me that you have children with him that would have been in attendance at the funeral. What kind of person are you to even do that? That's insane. Like my husband, I caressed his face, gave him a little kiss on the forehead, and rolled out. And I had already said goodbye to him in the hospital, but there's a level of decorum you need to have at a funeral. And I can see if you went to the hospital and said, okay, let me close these curtains and do what I do. But to do that in front of everybody at the funeral is disrespectful. Like, but looking at her, I mean, yeah. And then for her to be surprised about being kicked out is insane as well. You they kick me out? Like she's strong and wrong. Like what?
The crazy part is,
Come on,
she
girl.
asked the mother. She asked his mother for permission to give him a kiss. She kissed him on the lips, then went down to the southern area
Okay, so
to kiss him down there, which is of course she's gonna kick you out. Kiss him. She gave you the approval to kiss him on his lips. You asked that. She granted you that. That's fine. Why would you be disrespectful to the point where, okay, I'm gonna do this too? Because she already knew what she was gonna do.
insane.
And then look how she's dressed. Who goes to a funeral like that?
Yeah, she looked crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? But listen, I'm glad that they did kick her out because it's, the thing about the other part of it is the after effects, right? Like, that's my son. That's someone's son. That's someone's brother, someone's uncle, dad, whatever else. Now that's a permanent stain on the funeral, and it went viral. I am just like, I can't wait till we go back to, or I miss those days when things like that would have happened, but it wasn't televised for all to see.
Yes.
All to see. First of all, it makes us look crazy, right? Makes us look crazy, regardless of what people say. It wasn't us. It wasn't, we don't know her, but it lumps us in this group that makes us look crazy. I don't like it, but I'm just happy they kicked her out, and for her to take it to social media is insane. Like I'm all for going viral, but not for that. Like
Not
there's
for
certain
that.
things you want to go viral for, not that. Insane, Lord Jesus. Anyway, yeah, that, yeah. Nicole, what do you think?
Oh, girl, to me, she was insane. It was ridiculous. I'm with you on going back to the times where we didn't know anything that was going on unless she was there.
Yeah,
Like, stop recording every little thing. We did not need to know that.
right.
Okay, you already embarrassed yourself at the funeral. Like, going viral for something like that is not it. But that's part of Ratchet City, though.
She
You know what I
said, and she did sing it. Ratchet at this.
Mhm.
She was proud. She was proud. Oh Lord, it makes me so sad. It makes me so sad.
Okay, like,
Like
let's move it on along because we don't want to get
Whitney,
too
I
much.
believe. Whitney, where you at? I believe the children are our future. Lord, that's our future. Lord, because she definitely looks young. So I'm like,
Oh, she definitely
Lord,
was young.
God, who your mama? Where's she at? Anyway, let's move on to the next topic.
Okay, so apparently the Trump administration is talking about seizing people's paychecks to pay back student loans. I feel like this is crazy because Trump's team is basically saying that this what Biden put into place for people who needed help to pay back these loans, it's illegal. This man talking about something being illegal, I don't understand. But what do you think about that, Shaquana?
Um, I guess in order for him to seize your paycheck, your loan has to be behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's probably referencing the pause that Biden put into place during the COVID era, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're long past COVID, and if you haven't started to pay your student loans, then I mean, it's just like whenever you don't pay your taxes, they go in and enter in a garnishment for that. Now, I know that they are going to start doing it, I think sometime in May. And it's only for those loans who are like 240 days, like 240 days. I think it's from 190 to 240 days past due. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a long time. 3 months. Like listen, in 3 months, if your mortgage is past due 3 months, you lose your home. You enter into foreclosure. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
for you to even go up to 240 months, that is what six. That's like what 6 months.
Yeah, it's a long time.
240. Actually, no. 30 days. Eight. That's 8 months behind. If we're saying 30 days
Oh
in
yeah,
a
because
month,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
right?
That's
That's
over
like
150.
that's
Yep.
like 8 months behind. That's a long time for you not to pay your student loans. And some people unfortunately may not have it, but there are a majority of people who do have it, and it's just like taking advantage of the pause, you know. But how do you differentiate who's who? I don't know. I do think that people should start paying them. There should be a certain clause in it that says, okay, you have to start paying your student loans by XYZ, not a
Mm-hmm.
garnishment of the paycheck. I feel like that's a little bit intrusive. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What you think?
Well, it's not just the people who are behind. They also talking about people who are on like repayment plans. So, like for instance, federal employees, they get a repayment plan. You pay up to like 120 payments, and then your loan is forgiven, right? Stuff like that is also being put into this as well.
Okay, so he is targeting loan forgiveness as well for like public employees, for they had nurses or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So
Yes.
he's targeting them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, loan forgiveness was put into place for a reason for
Mm-hmm.
these groups. So I don't think that he should mess with them. But those people who are behind or defaulted, or just seriously behind, because 8 months, like I said, it's a long time to be behind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that should definitely be collected, but not through garnishing someone's paycheck. I'm not a child. Like, don't take my money. Don't
Like
take my
for
money that I
instance.
work for. Like, this is money that
Mm-hmm.
I'm working for. And I know he's like, pay your bills. I get that. I get the whole gist of this thing. But give people the chance. Put it back up. Remove the pause,
Mm-hmm.
and then say, listen, at this time you have to start paying your student loans back. Don't
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, by May we're gonna seize your paycheck. That's
Right. That's a bit much because
yes,
especially coming from a person like him, it's just is what it is. But this
right.
is the crazy part too, because in the United States of America, we're the only country that have to pay for education.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that they should just get rid of that whole thing. Like just get rid of the loans, get rid of the having to pay to go to school, and just allow people to go to school for free. And you won't have to worry about people, um, you know, defaulting on loans and stuff like that, because their education was free as it should be. Knowledge is free.
Okay, so as I'm looking it up a little bit more, it does say that the education department
Mm-hmm.
will contact those who are in default over the next 2 weeks to let them know of their status and their options. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And individuals can check to see if they are in default at studentaid.gov. They said that more than 5 million borrowers are in default. So I don't think that this is actually going to cover the loan forgiveness
Forgiveness.
people. I don't think it's going to do that. More than 5 million people, more than 5 million borrowers are in default, and only 38% of borrowers are current on their student loans. That's
Mm.
a lot of people in default. And with that being federal money, if people start to pay, if let's see, if so 38%, 62%, that's my math, right? In my head,
Mhm.
right? Thank God for math back in the day. 62% of people start paying on their loans. That means that goes back into the federal government,
Mhm.
and also goes back into things like Social Security and things of that nature. So
Yeah.
there is a good thing, that and a good outcome. I just don't know how he's going to use it, because he can say pay this back, but then he can request that it be allocated elsewhere. So
Right.
that's to be seen. But it does say after they've missed payments on their loans for 90 days, a borrower is put into delinquency. And
Mhm.
then after 270 days, the loan becomes default. So if he's only doing it on people who are those who are in default,
Right.
that means that your loan has been not paid for more than 270 days.
So I'm thinking like maybe those people are the ones that lost their jobs because a lot of people lost their jobs due to COVID,
In
and a lot
2020,
of people
absolutely.
and a lot of people also did not gain employment for whatever reason since
Yeah.
then. Because there's a lot of people. We have a high rate of in unemployment. People on unemployment due to
Hmm.
losing their job during COVID.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So my thing is, if you're in default and you're not working, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then because it's now 20, COVID was 2020, we're in 2025 right
It's not
now,
taking anything.
right? If you aren't working, then I understand. But if you have a job, like, you should definitely start paying on them loans. It
They were
does
also.
say a lot of the, you know, and if you care about your credit, because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to affect your credit score
Mm-hmm.
when you are late more than 90 days. It affects your credit
Right.
score. um but there is that thing where it affects your credit score, and then it also is going to hinder you from getting future loans. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot that goes into that. So if you
Yeah.
didn't care after 90 days that joint was it affected your credit score, I don't know if you're going to care after 270 days, but you will care when they start taking your money to pay off these loans. So hopefully it all goes well. And but they did say they're going to give out 30-day notices to people who are in default. So more to come, I guess, on that one.
I just hope they don't, because I think I read somewhere where they're gonna start talking to people's social security and stuff like that. Like they don't care what they're garnishing, and I don't think that's right because
um
that's they're on that's what is that a set income, like they pay their rent, stuff like that. Like don't touch people's money. Just like you said, give them time, give them the notice, let them see what their options are, so they can basically figure this stuff out.
the thing about that is that I remember getting a notice in the mail saying that you could go on an income driven
Mm-hmm.
repayment plan. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, if you went on an income driven repayment plan,
Mm-hmm.
you would have completely bypassed all of these issues,
Yeah,
right?
because you're
Because
paying it.
you're paying it, and it's income driven. So if you're making $20,000, okay, most likely your income driven payment plan is going to be substantially lower than what an actual federal loan
Mm-hmm.
payment would be. So if you are proactive in that, because there's some people who are not even paying anything on the income driven.
Right.
I've seen that, like $0. Oh shoot, thank you. All
Right.
right, and your credit remains intact, you're good to go. So I think that a lot of the stuff people maybe weren't proactive in requesting income driven or requesting a deferment, things of that nature. You got to keep up with that.
Yeah.
You do. The good thing that this site says, it does say that borrowers can get on an income driven payment plan
Mm-hmm.
or sign up for loan rehabilitation.
Okay.
So that means that there's options. They're not just going to garnish you.
Which
You
is
get
good.
that 30-day notice, and then you request a payment or a repayment plan or a rehabilitation plan. So there's
It
options.
works. It
Yeah,
works. So just do
there's
it.
options. Yeah.
Don't just do nothing, because
Exactly.
we're gonna deal with what's going on here. With Trump trying to
Exactly.
seize your paycheck.
Right. And my thing is, like, if your paycheck is low anyway, it will serve you to go on an income driven payment
Absolutely, because
plan.
you might get that $0.
Yeah, you might get that $0, and now you're good to go. You know what I'm saying?
But just
Until you
know, sorry, just
know
know
it.
when you do that, I think it's every year you have to recertify for it or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's every year. I don't know. They change so many things.
I know.
But either way, go online, go on to studentaid.gov, check it out, see what your options are. Before you even get that letter. Because he's saying that they're going to be like by late summer. So before you even get that letter, go in there, go on to studentaid.gov, see where you are, see what your options are, take the necessary steps to move forward so that your paycheck isn't getting garnished. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Who wants that? I feel violated. Don't take my money. I
Be
work hard for
proactive.
it. Listen, because I need to buy my Mailies. Be tight. Don't do that. Oh God.
That part.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. No, I don't like it. Anyway. So again, guys, go on to studentaid.gov. Sign in if you have not created a profile. Create a profile, and see what your options are. So, all right, that was that. Nicole, you have anything else to add to that?
Yes, ma'am.
You have anything else to add to that?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, you good? All right.
Yeah,
all
we
right.
good on that one. We covered that topic.
All right.
That's a little done.
All right, cool. So let's go on to the next topic. All right. So Nicole, what you got?
All right. So we're talking about Walmart now, right? Walmart is basically locking up their steaks.
Wait,
In the heart.
Wait. Okay, good. No,
I'm
I'm
sorry. Walmart is basically, they started locking up their steaks and high theft locations to prevent people from stealing. Now, I don't agree with people stealing.
Let me sip. Cause wait, let me sip.
I don't agree with people stealing. But come on now, food prices are really expensive. People gotta eat. They gotta do something. If they don't got the money, because what, steak is like what, $20?
Listen, if you don't have the money for steak, you just don't eat steak. Period. There's other things that you can eat. Walmart has bags of shrimp for $5.98. Okay, you don't have to have the steak. Or start raising cows.
People who got allergies can't eat shrimp.
Oh.
They gotta eat chicken or they gotta eat steak. Did you see them prices out there?
Yo,
they're ridiculous. Listen,
insane. Because I just bought me a pack of steak from the supermarket the other day, and I was like, "Dang, this is mad expensive," but I wanted it, so I said, "Let me get it."
That's what I did. I bought it. I bought the pack, and I'm looking like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, okay, wait, which one am I gonna get? I still got it, but I ain't get the big juicy one. Okay.
The ribeye, you ain't get the ribeye. That's like $59. Like, it's so. First of all, the price of food itself is expensive. Like,
yes.
Just everything has gone up, and I understand what's happening in the world. I get it, but everything is expensive. And like, I went to the store the other day, and I, got like a couple of bags. Maybe it was 4 bags, and I spent like $120. Granted, I'm not getting great value stuff, right? Or, because I'm just not, right? But I think it's just as good because I have tried like certain things, great value. I have tried it, and it's still okay. And by the way, that's Walmart brand, great value. I have tried it, so I mean, it's okay. But I think, in the case of them locking up meat, if they have to lock up meat, that means it's really bad. When I go into Walmart, there aren't anything locked up except for there isn't anything, excuse me, locked up except for eyelashes in my Walmart. I don't know. People out there going crazy. Like the foundation isn't locked up, what the big money stuff isn't locked up, but them eyelashes and that last glue locked up. Okay, so that's because they have high theft in that area. They lose
Yeah.
money because people are stealing lashes, and it's all women doing that because ain't no men. But then again, you never know, men do that too. They wearing them lashes out there too, so I'm not even gonna go there.
And look,
But
Fizz wearing it too.
and look fierce, right? So, but though I get the high ticket items, even when you're losing the most money, you have to lock it up. But damn, steak, like, so what do you do? Like, are they how they plan on doing this? Like, they're putting the freezer like a glass encasement around the freezer part. Like, what? People just
Girl,
gonna have
I've
to start stealing pork
never,
chops after that. Like,
I've never seen the meat locked up.
yo,
In
insane.
Westbury, New York, I remember like the toothpaste, toothbrushes, stuff
Right?
like that.
Damn, they
Out
stealing.
here in Georgia, I haven't seen anything locked up. Okay, not yet.
Yo,
But the
I
meat,
me that means times are hard. Like people in there stealing steaks, like going into Walmart, putting a steak in their shirt, like that's insane. Like, yeah. No, it's that time. It's about to be. Let me get my little tuna, my little sardines, cause it's about to be a famine out here.
I
Okay,
said, it's
like
funny you said
what?
that. I said, let me get my salmon, let me get my corned beef.
Listen, let me
And
listen.
corned beef is expensive now.
I don't eat
So
corned beef hash. Hallelujah. Don't eat that. Randy used to eat that all the time. I don't like that. No, I'm not eating that.
I got it
But
from, my kids family. Because I remember I never used to eat cabbage. You know that. But
yeah.
I do love cabbage, corned beef, and rice. And they put ketchup on. I don't need no ketchup. I make it, I season it, it tastes really good. Yeah, right, they put ketchup on it. But
No, I'm good.
it tastes really good. Now I can eat it.
Yeah.
But back then, mm-mm.
It's insane. Like, I just can't believe that they have to lock up the steaks. But it's a sign of the times. And we laugh and joke about it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
serious, right? It's a sign of the times that things are becoming a little more chaotic when people trying to feed their families. Now, you don't necessarily have to feed your family steak.
No, you
Okay,
don't. There's other things
a
out
little,
there.
little chicken, little vegan stuff in the freezer section. You don't
Pork is
necessarily have to
cheap.
do that. You exactly. You don't even have to eat meat because you don't need meat to stay alive. There's other ways that you can get your protein in besides that.
Beans.
Beans and stuff like that, legumes,
What you say?
uh, legumes.
Girl, I thought you said liver. I was like, oh,
Oh no,
hell
I don't
no.
do liver. No, I don't do liver. No. We don't do that. We don't do
We don't do
that.
no liver over here.
I can't take it. That's why I just drink my beetroot powder. I gotta get some,
Woo! Ugh.
but
No, no. Every time she brings up that, no, I won't be
my
doing that
beet.
either.
This is good. You just put a little slice of lemon in it.
Yeah, I remember you at
Yeah.
Thanksgiving eating them beets too. Leave me alone. No,
Yeah.
no.
Beetroot powder. I don't like beets. I don't like beets, but it's a great source of iron. So, and I need that. So, get that.
I get the pills. I can't.
But
It doesn't.
nah,
I don't like the way it tastes.
I get you. And that
And I
powder
don't have an
tastes
issue with
just like
texture, but for some reason, it just doesn't sit well with me.
yeah. My grandmother's like, put some sugar on it. That defeats the purpose. I'm trying not to get diabetes just to have some dang on beets. No. So I
Oh,
just drink
God.
the beetroot powder, and it does taste like beets. It's organic. It tastes like beet for sure. But it's what you need to do. I just drink it once a day and I move forward. Look at your face.
I don't like the smell, the taste. Mm-mm. You can have that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure when I come over, you drink it before I get there. Okay.
No, I'm gonna drink it right in your face just because you said that. Yeah. But so yeah, I mean that's it. But yeah, like I said, it's a sign of the times. Groceries are high. I won't be surprised if other stores start to follow suit with locking up meat if there becomes an issue. You know. That's crazy.
It's been a real issue because did you ever see a video? There's a woman who they caught shoplifting in the supermarket. Yo, I don't know how she did it. She had on a skirt, right? She had the food under her skirt and was walking normal. How? She had an immense amount of food up in there. Like, how
I
did
just want to
they?
know how did she get caught?
I think they seen her, to be honest with you.
Man.
But they was asking for her to take it out, and the amount of food that she took out, I was like, that's a skill. Because I can't even hold one thing. How do you hold all that stuff under your
Yeah, she's done that before.
clearly?
Yeah.
Clearly.
She's done that before, but I mean, some people steal just to steal. But other thing, a lot of it too is that the cost of everything is going up. Like just even like my electricity provider, right? Um, that has skyrocketed. The cost to maintain electricity in your home has skyrocketed, and that takes away from other things. Because you need to have electricity in your home. You need to have things to in your home that makes it function. Now you have to worry about taking that money from your food budget, and so it's like you should not have to determine whether or not you eat or have lights in your home.
Which bill you gotta pay? That's
Like I can see your credit card bills. I understand that, but as far as basic necessities, you don't have to try to rob Peter to pay Paul, rob Brenda to pay Betty. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't have to do it.
That's true. Like we need to really get back to the way things were back in the days. Back when your mortgage was only what, $30. That would be amazing.
But that's the cost of living.
Everybody was able to become homeowners, huh?
That would never happen.
We know that.
Because of the cost of living, but also back then, a lot of people had trouble paying their mortgage too. It depends on who it was.
It depends, right?
So I think we always had these types of issues, but now they're just more so publicized. You see it more. People are on social media. Like, everybody's life is right in your face. And you can't help but to feel bad. For these people that are going through.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's crazy. But hopefully, no other store does that. Because listen, Weiss, okay, I don't want to have to go there and ask you for my meat.
It's so annoying to have to press that button.
Line. Exactly. But you know what? I need to go to, like, when I go to North Carolina, there's this place that I frequent called Kenlaw's, and it's like a meat market, and they give like packs of meat. They have like a meat bundle, so you can get ribs, you can get chicken, you can get whatever, steak and stuff like that. They give like a meat bundle for a set price. Now they have gone up in recent years, but it's still a good deal. And I don't have to worry about my meat being jacked up or spoiled when I go to those places. But if Walmart is offering a meat bundle, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's true, and that's another option for people if we think about it. Because if you go to a butcher, you're gonna get fresh meat daily.
Yes.
And it might be cheaper because they're cutting it the way you want it. You're getting that amount. If you want to make like curd chicken, whatever, stewed chicken, whatever, guess what? They chop that sucker up for you for the same price. It's not extra. Go find a butcher in your neighborhood. Make sure it's a good butcher. You don't want nothing, smelling bad. But that'd be a better option.
Yeah.
And I bet you these stores that sell these packages that they sit up there, and when all they do is take it to the back, change the date, put some coloring on it, so you can think that is fresh meat anyway.
Insane. Definitely find one of them places where that you can get your fresh meat. They're not trying to take advantage of you. And you also can have a good deal, and your family can be fed if you're getting like one of those meat bundles. Your family can be fed for at least a month, if anything, depending upon how big your family is. Like for me, I can't buy a meat bundle like that, and because it's just my household is small, right? So it's like sometimes we don't even eat dinner. It's smoothies, So it wouldn't work for me. But I remember back then when my household was a lot bigger, I would get the meat bundles and bring them home. I put them in a cooler and bring the meat home. Yeah, it was good.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's hope that no other place does that because I ain't got the time to go and look for some locked up meat. That would be if I get locked up meat by my home, I know that times are super hard and it's about to be a famine. Let me stock up. Let me stock up. Oh gosh. Anyway, Nicole, what's next on the agenda?
Okay, so I came up on a post. I read an essay post that said 60,000 Americans will lose their rental assistance and risk eviction unless Congress acts. It's crazy because they're talking about doing this next year. And the reason is federal funding is running dry by the end of this year. And that pretty sucks. What do you think about this?
Of course, all these government programs, they're trying to put money back into the government, and I get that. Hence the student loan stuff. Hence, a lot of the other things that they're trying to recoup payment on because we did give a lot. We do give people a lot of assistance.
Mhm.
But these are people that actually need assistance. Now there are select few that are taking advantage of rental assistance. Some people don't report that they're married, or there's all those type of scams going on. But for the most part, people need these vouchers. Things like Section 8, things like I don't know. They have a bunch of other rental assistance coupons and stuff like that. I'm not too familiar with them all, but I am familiar with the most popular, which is Section 8.
Mhm.
Are they talking about this? Like, I need to know a little bit more a little bit more information in regards to that.
Okay. So it says the Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD, uh, they're saying like they had a $5 billion program that was created in 2021 under the American Rescue Plan will be out of money at the end of 2025 unless Congress gets involved. If these cuts happen, it will be the largest in a single year in the U.S. history for rental assistance. Housing advocates are especially worried about the disproportionate. I was getting tongue tied when I was saying this word. I'm sorry, guys. Disproportionate. Say it, Shaquana. I know you know it.
Is it
Dis.
disappropriation?
Thank you, but it says
Okay.
create
Okay.
impact. This will have on Black women and families. The program was originally designed to serve as a safety net for individuals fleeing homelessness, domestic violence, and human trafficking. Congress has finally said Democratic Representative Maxine Waters, who helped to create this program, is pushing for an $8 billion extension. But the political reality is tense, with the Republican controlling the House, prioritizing budget cuts. Housing advocates say the road ahead will be difficult.
Okay. Love me some Maxine Waters. Love me. Reclaiming my time. Love me some Maxine Waters. The American Rescue Plan, right? That was in response to COVID. A lot of these things that they're cutting are they're like still being. These are funding that were put in place because of as a reaction to COVID. We're no longer there. We're no longer
No, that's
there.
not true because there's a lot of people who still suffer from health issues caused by when they got COVID and they
Got
can't
that.
work and stuff like that. So
Got that.
these things should not be happening. To people should not be losing their homes, and for them to state that it's gonna the people who gonna be affected are Black women and families. Like Black women and families are not the only ones on these programs. But
No,
why is it that they're the only ones that's going to be targeted? That's a little weird.
I think it's more like it's for me. It's more like a plea for help to put that out there. You know, we always get we always we always seem like the ones that need the most help, but we are not.
Right.
Now the American Rescue Plan that was put in, like I said, was put into place because as a reaction to COVID. So the pandemic did cause a lot of people to lose, and people are still struggling to get back to where they needed to be. Now, if you can prove that you're still in an economic, you know, if there's an issue in your household where you need assistance, okay. I personally don't think that they're going to just take it away without having proof. You need to have proof, I believe, that you are still in dire straits, right? And things are needed. $8 billion to be put into
The extension.
use as an extension for already strapped federal government. Like, we don't have any money.
So
Where are
they
we
say.
getting this from? They literally, there's a deficit of like $1 trillion. How are we doing this? We don't have any money. And just because we print money every single day doesn't mean that we have money. We don't have money. And what I know is that these programs will be directly affected, or we will be directly affected. Those us who work, who are taxpayers, will be directly affected. Tax rates will go up to try to assist. And it's like, yo, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. Like, I'm working hard out here. Like,
That's for sure.
I'm really tired of assisting. You know, because I know people who just are like, okay, I get my check and I'm good. Like, no, but go out and work. Do something else. Like, there are jobs out there. There are jobs out there. I don't care what anybody says. There are jobs out there. You can get something that would assist you. But not only is this going to affect rental assistance, but all of this particular act affects, HUD. It affects the rental. It affects Section 8. It affects a bunch of other stuff. And I can look it up to see exactly what the Department of Housing is going to. Hold on a minute.
I would say rent is high everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
And this is sad because there's going to be a lot of families that's going to be evicted, which, what does that mean? That means they're putting them back into shelters and all the other stuff. That means that it's going to be a bigger issue than what it is. I don't think that they should be evicting people. I don't think that they should cut these programs. I think they need to figure out what they need to do in regards to helping these families sustain their household. You know what I mean? Like, if it means helping them get a job so they can, and then the lowering these damn rents. The rents are too expensive. They can't pay it. And yeah, I know we got people out there who fake the funk, who lie on these documentations, and they got a whole husband in the household and they doing what they doing. But then there's other people who don't. So those I'm talking about those families who need the assistance. You need to help them. Don't sit there and just throw the towel in just because you can. Like, that's horrible. Because I feel like it's going to make a worse a bad situation worse.
Let's see here. All right, so from what I see, it's called a stopgap funding bill. And it's going to extend they're going to extend funding through September, right? And it will cut $13 billion in domestic spending. All right. So they're giving $32.14 billion to renew contracts under HUD's tenant-based rental assistance program. Actually, and that's a $3.65 billion increase from the previous fiscal year. So that the HUD rental assistance program, that is actually increasing. What's also increasing is the HUD's project-based rental assistance program. There's an $880 million increase from fiscal year 2024. So that's increasing. What is being hacked is the HUD's homeless assistance grant. Not really being hacked, but they want to repurpose it.
Okay.
Whatever that means. They're going to repurpose $100 million of that. Now, there is the community development fund is being cut. So those people who, if we need homes and things like that, community housing, low income housing, that budget is being cut. The community development fund by 3.29 billion. So it is being he's cutting some things, but also increasing some things. So, but the problem is that the increase that they are proposing for the tenant-based rental assistance is not sufficient enough to cover the amount of people that need to renew their vouchers. That's the issue. So there's going to be about 32,000 people who will lose vouchers. That's the issue. Yep, when it turns over. So there are increasing some things, yeah. But that's what I hate when I see stuff like this topic, or this headline, because it doesn't give you like the full picture of it.
Right.
That's why it's good to do your research. But it definitely, they're going to increase the amount that they're giving, but the amount of the increase is not sufficient enough to cover the amount of people who have vouchers and who need renewals. So there are going to be about 30,000 people who will lose their vouchers unless they do something else. I don't know what's going to happen there. It kind of sucks.
It does.
Because those people who are going to lose their vouchers is like the price of, like you say, rent is so expensive everywhere you go right now that these people not even be able to afford to live. And if you have children, it's just it's a lot. And I'm hoping, and the community development fund is being cut. Right. So that means that they cannot even build enough low income housing to combat the cuts in vouchers. It's a lot.
It's crazy because they sit up there and they're raising these rents, but yet their income is not, is not covering what it is that they have to pay.
Yeah.
That's when you get situations where a bunch of people come into one house just so they can pay, the rent, and that shouldn't be the case either.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's like a ongoing thing. There are probably going to be changes associated to that, so we'll keep on top of that. Well, you will, Nicole. You're the bomb with that stuff. I try not to look at it because it's so much bad news out there, and I can't, I can't absorb all of that. But so more to come on that, and hopefully it works out for the best for everyone, and because I would hate to see people lose their homes, their assistance.
Right.
I would hate to see that. It's just bad enough that we can't even afford to do, to go grocery shopping. But for you to take away vouchers and just assistance that people actually need, that's
they're going to take away their home, and then what's the next thing? They're going to sit there and try to take away their children because you can't provide them.
You can't afford to provide. Yeah. It's crazy. They don't understand how it is a domino effect. It really is, and everything is interconnected, right? So you take away a place here, you're gonna lack here, and then that place is gonna lack, and then another place lacks, and then it just spirals out of control, So, well, that's our show. I thought it was a good one. It was a little more serious than normal.
Yeah.
But, we'll be back with the regular relationship shenanigans next week. Well, thank you so much for watching Real Conversation. Again, I am your host, Quana Terry.
And I am Nicole Jones. And don't forget that you guys can reach us. You can see us here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Here on Facebook is Real Conversation. Everywhere else is Real Convos podcast real underscore convos underscore podcast at gmail.com.
That's it.
But girl,
That is your email.
okay.
That's the email. Real underscore combos podcast at gmail.com. And then on YouTube and every other platform except for Facebook is real underscore combos underscore podcast. Right? There you go. Hey.
Thank
you again for watching. We appreciate all of your support, and God bless.